Hi, in this series of videos we're going to be looking at using the sine rule. Now these are fairly sophisticated type of problems. You need to be able to use a couple of different methods. We're going to aim this at around about grade 6 GCSE. So the first video which we're going to be looking at now is actually all about calculations, and then the next video in the playlist is going to look at word problems. Hope it's useful to you. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions, compare your solutions. If you're not sure about anything, always send me a comment. I'll always come back to you. I look forward to seeing you inside the video. Hi, in this particular video we're going to be looking at the sine rule and its calculations. So this is part of the playlist where we've also got sine rule word problems. So in this one, this is just really to give you a bit of an overview. There's only 2 questions to do, but hopefully it'll give you some idea of the way in which you can approach these types of questions. Please do download the worksheet from the website. The description is below, and have a go at each of the questions. Okay, so it says length LM, work out length LM, which is actually this one along here. So this is what we're going to be working out. Okay, now there is a couple of different designations that you might be familiar with. So what we do, where we've got an angle, we just call it a capital letter. I'm going to call it capital A. And where we've got a side, I'm going to call it small a. Okay, again I've got an angle here and then a small case letter over there. Now what that does is it allows me to use the formula. Okay, so the formula is going to be A over sine A equals B over sine B. Now it actually also equals C over sine C. So remember that these are reminder videos, so hopefully you have come across this before. But the whole idea really is that we can use this formula in order to be able to calculate the lengths of, or the angles in fact, of any triangles. So let's have a look at plugging in a couple of the numbers. Okay, so I've got A, which is what I'm looking for. Capital A rather, is 87. So we're going to get A over the sine of 87, and that equals B, which we know is 6.3, over the sine of 52. So this is this one here. So what we're doing is that over that. Okay, and then it's a case really of just putting A as being the subject of this particular formula. Now in order to do that, I need to multiply both sides by sine 87 to get rid of this denominator. So A, which is the angle I'm looking for, or the length I'm looking for, LM, is going to equal the sine of 87 multiplied by this fraction, which is 6.3 divided by the sine of 52. Okay, now if you put that into a calculator, you're going to get 7.9838, and it goes on a little bit further. And to answer the question, correct to 3 significant figures. The third significant figure is 8. I'm going to leave it as that. I'm not going to change it. So the answer would be 7.98 centimeters. Okay, hopefully that's all right for you. If you have been taught this particular topic before, that should be all right. And we're going to be doing question number 2 in a very similar way, but in this particular case we're going to work out an angle, and the angle we're being asked to work out is ABC, which is this one here. Okay, so what I'll do, just because it's kind of the way I'll do the designation, is I'm going to say, well, actually, I'm going to leave this as A, capital A. I'm going to make this lowercase a. Okay, now in order for me to work out angle B, I need this length. So actually, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work out angle C, and then I'm going to add those 2 angles together and take it away from 180 degrees. And when I do that, that will give me the value of angle B. Okay, so hopefully that's all right. So it's a little bit of a side step, really. It's not perhaps as straightforward as the one that we did in question number 1. Okay, but we can now say, well, actually, I'm going to just change the designation. I'm going to make that B and B. Okay, and I do suggest you do change the letters if you need to in order to make it fit your particular way of doing things. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as B. Rather, I'm going to make this B, and I'm going to work out this particular angle here. Hopefully it's not too confusing. Okay, I just need to work out that angle. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, well, sine of A over A equals sine B over B. Okay, let's have a look and put in some numbers. So the sine of A is 37 degrees and small case a is 6. And then the sine of B, which is what I'm looking for this angle, divided by 8. Okay, hopefully that's all right. Now, when I rearrange the formula, what I'm going to get is the sine of B. So I can put this as that sine 37 degrees over 6, which is this fraction, multiplied by 8 equals the sine of B. Well, actually, I don't want the sine of B. I want the angle itself. So what I'm going to use is the negative reciprocal. Now, if you look on a calculator, you'll see it's actually, usually if I show you on my calculator, it's this yellow key at the top here that you can access using Shift and Sine. So it's the reciprocal. If you're not sure about this, there are quite a few videos in this playlist and other playlists that deal with working with trigonometry and trigonometric functions. Okay, so here we are with that one, and I can say that actually the sine of 37 degrees over 6 multiplied by 8, and if I make that the sine or the negative reciprocal, that will actually give me the value of B. And actually it does. If I just plug that into my calculator, I'm going to get 53.36 degrees, which equals B, which is this angle here. So this angle is 53.36 degrees. So therefore, it's just a case now of taking those two angles away from 180 degrees, and I'm going to get the angle that they're actually looking for. So let's have a look at doing that. We've got 180 minus 37 minus 53.36. Now, just for the sake of accuracy, what I've actually done with that, and on most scientific calculators, you can actually just use the answer key, okay? And that means then that you get all the decimal points, or at least the ones that the calculator has calculated for you. So when I get that, I get 89.638. Okay, again, it goes on a little bit, but correct to one decimal place, it means that angle ABC is going to be 89.6 degrees. Okay, and that's the answer to this particular question. So I do appreciate that I've played around a little bit with the label here, and I do suggest you kind of do this. Sometimes when they write these questions, they do tend to try to confuse you a little bit, okay? Not deliberately, but sometimes just throw you off guard a little bit. So sometimes you just need to change things to suit yourself. Okay, hope it's been useful. Please do add a comment below if you're not sure about anything. Have a look at the video which is coming up next on sine rule calculations, and I'll look forward to seeing you inside the next video.